There we go.
Okay. How are you? How's life been?
So far so good.
That's
Oh,
good.
let me mute the stream so I don't hear it twice.
What? How did you get into streaming?
Um, so I grew up pretty let's say financially challenged.
Hmm.
And so one of the things that my like I would do for fun would I would watch YouTube. And I watched this guy called Michael Jones, and he would do the Rage Quit.
Hmm.
And from Rage Quit and through my love of Red versus Blue, I found Rooster Teeth. And so once I found out that like playing video games could become a profession, I was like, wow, I really want to do that. Um, but I didn't do too well in school, so it wasn't really it was one of those things where my parents were very like, work really hard in school and you can kind of do whatever you want. So when I was going through high school, the beat kind of passed. And now that I'm an adult with my own money, it's just something that I want to pursue now that I can do it. But I've always been interested in being creative. One of the reasons I did so poorly at school was actually because like I would spend time like drawing and trying to like figure out like comic design and stuff like that.
Well,
That's
oh,
yep.
sorry.
That no, it's fine. I was like that. That's just kind of how I fell into it.
I felt you when you were talking about your grades and spending time like drawing and stuff because for like the first year or so of when I was in school and I had well, I think this was towards the end-ish middle school, start of high school, when I was starting out doing drama again. And we, my friends, we had a drama class, but it was completely different from drama club. They were two different things of the same. Hi, Chuck. Hi, Choco. Oh my God.
What's up, Chaco?
But that class, it was me and three other people that whole class. Instead of being in that class, we told our teacher, hey, we got a show coming up. We need to practice. And every day during drama class, we practiced for drama club.
Yeah, I was interested in taking drama in high school. I just never really had the chance because once again, my grades. And I was already in art, so my dad was really like, "Hey, man, you can either be in art or you can be in theater." And I chose art because I have more passion for that than acting.
And that's understandable. Um, what what pushed you to become a streamer slash VTuber?
I right now it's because I just I feel like I'm probably currently at my most successful, and I'm still growing successfully. A long time it was really just money. It was space. Like I'm finally back in a space where I have like plenty of room to like have a computer and set up my like foam boards and like actually like work in an environment where I feel secure again.
Hmm.
Um, Whereas in like the last couple years, it's been apartment to apartment to apartment, and it's like constantly moving. I had the same like bricked in like the loosest term of like a brick that can still kind of think PC. Um, and I don't want to name names, but recently something came up where a streamer who I had known about for a long time was in his late 20s, early 30s when he started, like back when like people were just starting out doing streaming, and I was like, well, hang on, maybe I'm not too old. You know, it's kind of like that. It's really just I'm looking around and I'm seeing like a bunch of people falling out of the industry, and I'm looking at that and I'm going, there's a there's a little bit of a pocket here for someone to start like spreading goodwill and kindness, um, which is kind of like just my whole deal is I just want to grow a community of people that are very nice to each other. Maybe bicker a bit, but like not be heinous to each other.
Okay. Um, would you consider it a job or a hobby of yours?
So right now it's a hobby. I still work full time, and I come home and I'll stream, and I'm pulling like you pretty decent hours streaming, but I'm still technically only part time streaming. Um, I think the closest it's ever gotten to feeling like a job was when I made affiliate, and I was like, damn, I finally made this shit happen. But also like I guess like hobby to the point of I try new stuff and it doesn't work out very well, and I go, well, hang on, let me try again next time. Stuff like that.
Um, for you, what are the downsides of streaming?
What are the downsides? Downsides of streaming, I'd say, are I wish I could do it more. Um, like because I work a full time job and I work government hours of 6 a.m. to 3 to 4 p.m. It's really just a matter of, and I work a very physical job. So I come home and I'm like, I need to take like 2 hours to just not do anything for a while. Maybe I'll eat, maybe I'll like chill out, watch something on Crunchyroll. But for the most part, it's really just, I really wish I could go from work directly into streaming, because I know if I can get my hours up, it feels a lot more like people can stumble upon me and go, hey, here's this guy. I can give him compliments, make him feel at home in my chat, stuff like that.
Hmm.
So yeah, if I could do streaming more, it would be probably I would fall more in love with it. But also just I guess dealing with bots is a pretty big downside, just because I think it's been like 3.5 months since I've started streaming, and every other day I get a bot in my Discord saying, "Hey, I'm from this server that you're in, and I'm an artist. I'm down on my luck," and it's just like, I know this is a bot, but just the off chance that this isn't a bot, I feel really bad that I have to say no, sorry, and block them, just because it's like I'm an artist who's been like in that position of, I really want to sell my art. I really want to get like that moment. Um, it's like I can't like like I'm doing better. Like I said, I'm the most successful I've ever been right now, and I can still get more successful through hard work, but I still don't have that kind of like spending money. It's like I gotta have a grip on how much money I spend on things, because like I want to go to TwitchCon, I want to commission like a proper model at some point. It's like I got two fantastic PNGs from Your Sleepy Witch that serve as my like PNG self. Um, but it's like that's like the most money I'm throwing at something that is kind of a hobby. It's like I can't like throw money at every single artist that's like, I can do your stream elements, I can do your title cards and stuff. I feel really bad, but most of them are bots, so it's hard to like feel that empathy for that long.
Yeah, and bots are just a really big problem on any kind of content making platform, whether it's Twitch, YouTube, or TikTok. It's like they get a lot of them, but then there are a lot that they miss.
Yeah, I've been considering. So when I first started doing the streaming thing, when I made like my Twitter, like my official like persona Twitter, um I went through and I got rid of everyone that was like an OnlyFans like bot paying account, any like PNG and graphics accounts. Again, they could have been like real people, but it's like if I didn't know you already as an artist, I probably didn't um like I probably don't appreciate the follow for starters. But then also like you're probably a bot. Especially if I go in your account and I go to like your media tab and it's like all the like AI adjacent or like very like you say you've been an artist for like 20 years and it's like this is all like deviant art like early 2010 style stuff. It's like the lack of improvement is another way that I can kind of suss out like, oh, you're probably a bot.
What do you like about streaming and making content in general?
So it's only been a little while and I've already felt like I've made some good friends. So I got Chaco. Chaco is probably one of the biggest motivators, at least like personally wise.
Mhm.
Does his best when he's on my stream and I try to return the favor by like, reciprocating in his stream, just being a good guy to him. And he's done the same to me. Zaku, also a really cool guy. I think just about anyone in Sleepy's server is super chill. Um, and that's really just been it. It's the my favorite part about streaming is meeting new people and developing more of that online network of this is a good person and I like this person and I this person is having trouble with something, so I'm gonna I like I said, like I don't have a lot of money, but I'll still like, oh, it's like $5 to help fund getting you like a new computer because yours blew up. It's like you're one of my favorite streamers. I'm gonna, of course, I want you to have a computer. Um, but yeah, it's really just people. I like meeting new people. I don't have a lot of um real life social skills of like walking up to someone in a realm that I exist within and going, "Hey, you're interested in this thing that I also like. Do you want to do that thing together?" And so it's a lot easier for me to go do that online and then develop that um rapport before like meeting up and being like, "Hey, that thing, we like that thing." And then from there it's a lot easier. Most of my friends I have currently in real life are from high school, and we've just never left the like city area that we live in. Not really for like poor or like bad reasons. It's just kind of like we all just seem comfortable. You know, it's nice to have just that place.
Is there anything specifically that made you want to start VTubing?
Um, yeah. So this one requires a little bit of context, and I'm not super proud of it, but um I'm not fully anonymous. Like I just actually linked my my PNG avatar to my TikTok account. And I have some friends at work that know what I do for like my side hustle, kind of, I guess is what it is. Um, but it's kind of just a matter of I'm not very fond of my face. Um, and so it's like I'm not very fond of my face. I have like I have a problematic family member. And it's kind of I'd like to say it's not his fault. I'm doing my best to help re-educate him in certain things. But it's kind of just like I don't want you know um him connected to me, connected to me, and so it's a very small barrier of entry, but it's still very much a I want to separate myself from Leviathan. Leviathan is mostly me, but he is not me, which makes it a lot easier to interject my personality and not worry about any um unrelated backlash.
Hmm.
I hope that makes like a
It
decent
does.
amount of sense.
It does
Okay.
make sense because before I as a kid, I've always wanted to make YouTube videos, and I've deleted a lot of them. I don't know if any of them are still up, but most of them are deleted and gone, hopefully.
I had a so on my first uh Apple device, they had Slender the Eight Pages as like an app.
Mhm.
And one of the parts of this app was when you were done with a run, you could upload your run to YouTube. So my first YouTube video ever, it's deleted now, but my first video ever was got 6 pages, woo, and it was like a 6 minute video. It was
So
so bad. There's no like there's no like player audio. It's just literally just the game audio. It's so bad. Um,
I oh, actually, next question before I talk about this.
mm,
What are your hobbies outside of streaming?
so I stream 4 nights a week. I stream 5 hours a night for that 20-hour part time. The other 3 nights a week, I play Dungeons and Dragons, and well, currently I'm actually running a Star Wars role playing game. But I would usually run D&D on Tuesdays, and on Sundays and Thursdays I play in 2 games run by 2 of my friends. Um, and so I really love D&D. I love the lore. I love the fantasy element. I love creating new things for D&D. Um, Back when all the OGL shit was going on, I was like really gripping my pearls because it was like, damn, I really want to make new things for this, and they're about to like scam me for that. They're about to take all any money that I would make off of creating things. And it made me feel really like and there was a big conversation because like my father's who got me into D&D, and I had to talk to him like, Dad, I make content for D&D, and he's like, well, it's their IP. And there was like that a little bit of a divide between us of, well, don't you think it's not fair to do this? And he was like, whatever. um that's like my big hobby. Outside of D&D, I love to play miniature war games. I haven't done it in a while, but I like to build and paint Warhammer models. Um, Video games, period. I mean, just like I play on stream, I play off stream. I have a lot of fun doing it. Uh, Gotten into um, gosh, what is it? so this one's not really a hobby, but it's like something I'm interested in doing is I'm interested in picking up the violin again because I used to
Oh,
play it back when I was in elementary school,
that
and I found my little like it's like an intermediary guide, so it's like the guide itself is meant for like people who like have played before and people who are just starting to play before, like
mhm.
just starting to play. And that's been at my father's house. And so when I moved back in and I found it, I was like, I really want to pick up the violin again because I really liked having that sort of talent. Um, and like relearning how to read music by trying to learn to play my guitar is has just gone very bad for me.
Right.
So maybe relearning how to play music by relearning the violin might be some like gateway into relearning all of that. Um, because I used to do it. I used to play in my school's like little orchestra when I was like 9 or 10. And I actually had a lot of fun doing it. And I remember like all the small special skills for it, but I haven't like I haven't maintained that like art. And so I gotta rebuild from the ground up now.
And I'm actually on the same page with you on that, but I played through middle school.
Mm,
I started off in show choir, which is just theater adjacent. That's how I started doing theater. And
mm,
then I was also doing band at the same time. So when that middle school decided, hey, we're not going to do show choir anymore, I was doing band. The year after that, band and orchestra. And I did that until the end of middle school. And I
mm.
played three different instruments in band. I went from the flute to the baritone to percussion.
My mom used to play the flute, and at one point she was going to teach me how to play, but she got real busy, unfortunately. So I would have been with you right there. Um, but yeah, just having like a structured sort of like learned talent feels like it would have been like, or it could be just a really good outlet for expression. Um, I mean, like other like I guess hobbies, if you could describe them as interests. I watch a lot of anime. I've been keeping up with a lot of the main like front runners this season. I've been keeping up with a lot of keeping up with. I've been re-looking at some older ones that I used to love. Um, music, always been a fan of music and cooking. I have a big interest in cooking. Like to throw around like different things, different ingredients that are like similar enough. Um, and just see what I can get. It's especially because like I usually have to cook on a budget. Like I got to think about like how much money I spend on food. So if I'm cooking with a limited pool of resources.
How do you feel about the VTubing community? What are your views on it?
Uh, I would say mostly positive. Um, like I like off the top of my head, um, like I think it's had a positive impact on most VTubers. There's a few like outstanding like negative like zones of the VTubing world. Like there's definitely some predatory companies. There's definitely some people who are using their fame for like poor reasons. But honestly, I don't feel any differently about the VTubing community than I would about the standard streamer community. Um, like for every like bad actor, you have an Iron Mouse. For every you know PDF file, you have a fucking you have Mythos HQ girls,
Hmm.
and they're just you know you have enough level-headed people that I think it outbalances the bad actors and horrible examples in the community. Um, no, and it's just like any other like IRL community. It's just these they do their job or they do their like part-time job, you know, they're either good or bad at it and they rise to the occasion or they fall, unfortunately, sometimes.
Hmm. One of the things that I feel anytime that I try to upload any kind of content or do any kind of stream, it's just like I'm doing it because I want to. But then a lot of the time I'm like, I'm not going anywhere with this. I need to stop.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, sometimes like a big example of that I feel in my day to day is I play Overwatch, and Overwatch has skill based matchmaking. What did you want?
Mhm.
I just wanted to see how you were. Sorry, I live with another 2B streamer. I was checking on him earlier,
Oh, okay.
um, but he was in the middle of playing Elden Ring. Uh, but anyway, so Overwatch has skill based matchmaking, and unfortunately, that means if I do really well one day, it could just mean that the next day that I play Overwatch, I'm playing against people that are a little outside of my skill ranking. So I'm very much like I'm punching up suddenly. And then I do so bad that I end up doing good the next day because I'm punching down. And you know, every time I do it I get better, you know, but there's still that there's still that zone of I have lost every single game I've played today. But I'm having fun. You know, I try to find the fun in it. Um I'm not like as good at creating like say uh like a big like I can't find the funny all the time.
Hmm.
And usually some of the funny that it ends up being I think is me just making funny noises cuz I died. Um it's the best I can do sometimes when I'm having one of those days. Um you know, sometimes I'm not feeling so great, but I push through because it's like, well, I'm not. I've always had a good work ethic. I think in my roommate thinks it's very unhealthy for me, and I do too. But I if I'm not if I'm not dead sick, I want to work. I want to do something. Um, one of the unhealthy qualities I have is I hate sleep. I hate going to sleep. I hate being asleep. I sleep like a solid 5 to 6 hours a night because I want to minimize the amount I can sleep and still be functional for work and functional for streaming the next day after work.
Hmm.
I I want to I want to push myself, but just just to see how far I can go. And when I finally made affiliate and I got that email with the picture and it said congratulations, I was like, I can fucking do this. You know, enough people care, I guess. Yeah, it's I mean, to me it was uh a good little nudge in like maybe you know, take it easy but not too easy. You know,
Hmm.
that's famous Jack Black quote. Or no, it was take it easy but take it.
Right. I One thing that I do like playing is rhythm games, and I play a lot of them. I have two on my PS4 and one on my computer. The one that I use, or I'm trying to use to stream, I have to fix it, or I might just have to end up buying an entire PC, which is a lot of money that I don't have at this moment.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a hurdle for me, but luckily for me, I have a wonderful brother. Um, again, he might have some wrong ideas about things, but he's very supportive of getting me up on my feet and keeping me on keeping me above the water. And so he actually got me my current PC, and it's worked like a charm so far. So
Yeah, that's one thing that's on my list. And another thing is I need a capture card so I can play rhythm games on stream because I will play them for hours if I am not playing Minecraft.
mm-hmm.
And I don't I feel I feel like when I get on stream I am a very boring person. And I don't try to be boring. It's just I don't know how to properly just be on stream and just fucking talk.
Yeah, so that's also like my issue is I have a hard time just going on and on about stories because I don't want to talk too much about just like my day-to-day life just because like I work in a physical industry. Not a lot of details that a lot of people find like interesting generally. Like if I was doing like a hand cam stream where I was like doing stuff related to my job, you know, I could go over like stuff I learned at work, you know, how to do this, how to do that. But because I'm playing like usually video games that have like stuff going on, it's really hard for me to ramble without just saying back what's happening in the game. And I really don't like that level of okay, guys. So I'm going in this room, and there's the bad guy, and I'm going to take a swing at him, and oh god, he killed me. It's like
Because and I
that
understand that too because
yeah.
it's like I don't want to be that person because then I sound like a kid streamer or content creator person.
Right. It's just like I mean I just also want to just again like I want that chill vibe. I want people to come in and be like for the most part like if like if I'm in a game where the voice lines aren't like spoken, like they're not voice acted, like I've been playing this old PS2 game and it has no dialogue, like voice dialogue. So I've been just doing the voices, you know. I've been doing like I've been you know doing the like sometimes cringy like girly voice. I've been doing like the old man voice, and I've been just like keep a little bit of that like that's kind of funny to watch. He's doing the funny voices for the little moon rabbit people,
Mm-hmm.
and so I mean to that extent I can understand. But if I'm doing like a Stardew Valley, it's really hard for me to think like, well, I'm being chill. The game is like a sleepy game. What am I going to say that's not just what's on screen right now? And I guess that's kind of my fault. I could have started a Stardew game with people because I have found by playing Fortnite and Overwatch that if I have other people like talking, like I can very much like just go on and on and on. You know, in Fortnite, I'm doing like call outs. I'm doing like, you know, me and Zaku, Chaco, we're being a little sus on main. Uh, that's you know, it's just a little more like natural to speak to other people. Um, and also like I never did like the theater, so I don't know how to like present myself to an audience per se, and so that's currently my hurdle. I would like to include chat in more things like if I was doing a game that required more like choice input, I'd like to like include my chat a bit more in that. Um, but for now, it's just my mods bullying me. So you know, it's you know I can clap back. I did have a little bit of an issue the other day, but I won't go too far into that just because you know it's a small world and I don't want the person I had an issue with to figure I hate them. You know, I don't. I felt like the issue itself has resolved.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, for the most part, it's kind of just presenting to a crowd is a lot harder when you aren't like you can't really do traditional crowd work.
Like I feel like I do have a little bit of an upper hand with the theater part and me being in so many shows throughout when I started to now. It's I know how to present myself, but I've always had a script. I've always had lines. And this is different, but it's different, but it's also just you presenting yourself in a certain way to a lot of people, which is kind of the same, but very different.
So, interesting, like, little thing is, like I said, I have a coworker that I talk to a little bit about what I do, and one of the things he's told me for that is just not write a script, like definitely don't like beat for beat like a script for your streams, but he's like, hey man, you should write out some talking points, just figure out some like interesting stuff, and like do that. Because again, if I could just like roll into streaming being like the next fucking Nux Taku, where it's just like, all right, new news came in, let's react to it. It's just like I would do that, which is like I'm not Nux. I'm not fucking quite. I'm not fucking like any of these like big guys that they want to share the news to the biggest audience possible. It's like I want to entertain a small group of people, and hopefully the small group of people gets bigger.
Yeah, and it's just like me personally, I just see a lot of people out of nowhere that are just famous. Like one day out of nowhere, Iron Mouse suddenly popular. Didn't know who the fuck she was. Respectfully, didn't know who she
Yeah.
was before I started seeing her everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's not just with VTubers. Like Kai Cenat didn't know who he was until he started getting popular out of nowhere one day.
Yeah.
It's like that's just crazy to me how that happens.
Well, for me, it's so for me, a lot of the people that I currently watch, it's been like I've watched Nux Taku since like he started. And I think like a little, well, I say since he started. I used to watch a lot of like Too Spooky, I think. And I used to watch a lot of The Anime Man and Sea Dog. And then Nux Taku came on my feed. I'm like, who the hell is this? And just this funny little guy was just on my YouTube feed. I was like, this guy rules, and he's doing a lot of his I think maybe not like right as he started, but like around the time that he was doing like Naruto, like not reactions, but like in a nutshell, I guess, because he was doing like that with like My Hero characters and Naruto characters. But like that's I've seen him grow, and it's felt like wow, like back when he was calling his audience billies, which is fucking crazy. I don't like I wasn't involved in why they were called billies, but I remember like him referring to his audience as billies, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? This guy's fucking hilarious. And just being a silly guy, and then I started like absorbing the other people that he would collab with, because he went from being a fucking like a little like a PNG guy, like his editor style, and then when VTubers became a thing, I think Kizuna AI was like the first like VTuber like out. Is like that was a thing, and then from there they started like stretching out and out, and then Naxaku got a VTuber, and then he started like collabing with other VTubers, and like still doing like the same like sort of like content creators on YouTube. And so I just started picking up like, oh, who's Evanito? I liked it. I liked it when he said he was into feet on Nux's video. Or like the Sea Dog I was already watching. Or like who's Nags? everyone in this video, because I would listen to them while I'm at work, so I'm not like watching. I was like, everyone's making fun of Nags for his nose. You know, I sometimes get made fun of for my nose. I gotta see this guy. So I started watching a little bit of Nags, Chibidoki, and recently, Chibidoki's been like way more in my fucking line of sight because when Rooster Teeth dissolved, a couple of the people that I watched from Rooster Teeth started playing with Chibi, and I was like, what the Matt Holm is not. Was it Matt Holm? No, Matt Bragg. Matt Bragg is playing with Chibi Doki and Lethal Company. That's fucking crazy. So yeah, and then I started watching Chibi. You know, I watch the Russian Badger, so I'll pick up Heavenly Father and all those guys. And yeah, it's a weird, like it's like a weird tree of life situation with how I watch or how I came across like all the VTubers and streamers I watch currently, because it's really just from Nuxtaku and Sea Dog, it became like Iron Mouse, Mythos Girls, Quite, Nags, Heavenly, Badger, fucking all of them. Uh, sorry if that went a little long.
No, it's fine. You can talk as much as you want.
Uh,
Because I know when I get asked a question about something I'm really interested in, I just keep going.
yeah, and I mean, like my answers for all these are like, you asked me how my day was. I don't really do small talk, so I'm always gonna say it was good. It was a Monday. But like, you ask me like, what's your opinions on like certain VTubers? It's just like, well, let me tell you.
Right.
Gotta bring out the fucking flowchart here.
Right. And I try to make it interesting because not everybody has the same answer.
Fair enough.
And I'm not
Ugh.
very good at asking questions. So it's kind of just like rinse and repeat questions by accident.
I mean, so far so good. I mean, if people want to complain that I'm answering the same question over and over, but I'm doing it in different ways.
Because I ask questions and then I forget I asked the question.
That's fine. Just whatever works. You know, I think at least for a couple answers, it's been like, what was the question again? I started talking about Nux, and now I'm talking about Chibidoki. Um, this little goblin that burps on Twitter sometimes. God, like, how do we get here?
Right,
It's usually my thought process.
how did we snowball into this?
Yeah, it's that's usually my experience with my mental train of thought.
What are your views on parasocial relationships slash tendencies in people, whether it's to
Parasocial
yourself or to other people?
um towards myself, I'm gonna be honest, I will absorb love like a sponge. Um I will always reciprocate as well. Not like, I guess not to like a too weird degree, but really just like a like uh I just like to spread the love. And so it's just like, if someone wants to do good unto me, I really want to then spread it to other people. Um as far as like, it really depends on the parasocial relationship. Like, if I'm getting stalked, I think there's like a cause for like, hey man, take a step back and reevaluate some things. Probably not worth it. Uh, you know, I want people like that to get help rather than like bullied off the internet. In the manner of speaking, because I know there's definitely some people that are just like, hey, example I saw the other day was like, hey, this guy is my top donor on OnlyFans. He gives me $62,000 a month,
I
and like, this
remember
dude is getting
seeing that.
full. Yeah, this dude is getting flamed in the comments. It's just like, dog. A, it seems like but they took a picture together, and it's
They
just
did a
like,
whole stream together.
did they? What?
I think they did a whole stream together. Like they were with each other for a day or a few days.
Well, I mean, I didn't see the whole story. Was he like respectful? Was he like,
No.
oh, he was awkward and weird?
Yes.
Oh, that makes sense.
I can't remember the
But
full story either, but that's what I can remember. Because I remember
right.
seeing a few videos about it. Because I always watch like content creators who like speak on stuff like Moist Critical.
Mm-hmm.
I watch him a lot, but then I also watch him and other people who do like the same thing like him, but not exactly how he does it. So that's how I end up finding out about a lot of stuff that goes on the internet. Because yes, I do use TikTok a lot and I watch YouTube a lot, but I don't really look at all that stuff.
Right. Um. Okay. Again. I didn't get this full story, so I didn't realize how bad this guy was. I don't want to say bad. That's actually the wrong word to use if that can be stricken from record. It's kind of like it so there's a degree of responsibility on that model of, despite meeting the guy and probably understanding what level of like parasocial he felt, there's that responsibility of, if I stream with this guy, he's going to get bullied. Because he was like super like flame. I've been seeing the post everywhere about like, people are commenting on how he looks and how weird he was on, like, I guess on the stream. Um
There are two
but it's
instances of
just,
this that I just remembered. I'm so sorry that I'm cutting you off.
no, go ahead.
There was one where I think they did a stream together and the girl streamer got really drunk and she was encouraging it. And there was another one where they both scenarios, either they got flown out to meet her said girl streamer.
I think what you're thinking of is a streamer was flaming her mod.
Oh yes, that one. That
Yeah.
one was the one I'm thinking about, but I'm also thinking about the one that you're talking about because he flew out there to see her, and he was just weird.
Mm-hmm. But again, I'd like to say, there's the responsibility is on the power imbalance is still there.
Yes.
Like, even though this guy pays $62,000, he will do anything you ask him. It's like that mentality is, a little rampant in some communities. But I don't disrespect people who are like that, but have that like off switch. Because some people don't have that kind of self control, and for those people, I feel bad for them. Um, like there's like, I mean, I get a text from anyone I follow like tomorrow, and they're like, "Hey, I need something from you." I'd be like, "Well, hey, maybe this is pretty serious," and I'll think about it. And like, depending on the ask, it's kind of just like a, sure, why not? Um, I'm not going to give like all my life savings because I got shit to do with my money. Um, but it's kind of just like, I need your help with something, or like I need something from you. Depending on the ask, it's hard to put myself in that position because I've never felt it. But I'm willing to help people within reason, especially if I already look up to them in some way. Uh, like if like I'm not gonna name any names because I don't want to like put eyes on me and perhaps them. But if a voice actor, like an amateur voice actor was like, hey, I came across your stream the other day. I like the way you sound. Could you record some lines for me? I'd be like, sure. You know, on the spot probably. Because it's just like, okay. If I then, if those lines were then used in a way that it affected me negatively, I'd feel pretty bad and I wouldn't do it again. But some of these people, they'll get blasted, and then they'll perform the behaviors that got them blasted.
Mhm.
And that's very unfortunate. I hope to never have people like that, because I don't want to build that kind of community of people that go, oh, you know, the people in Levi's community are weird. They do weird shit for him or them. And like, you know, he's the worst and he takes advantage. I don't ever want to do that, so I really hope I don't produce those kinds of people.
Mhm. When I do start growing a community, I I don't want my community to be known for that either. Because if my community starts doing some weird shit, like actually some weird shit, I'm gonna be like, hey, can y'all cut it out? Just cut it out.
Hmm. I will say though, to that end, anyone who follows me is allowed to call me their friend. I'm perfectly fine with that. But my friends don't do bad things. So if you do bad things, you're not my friend.
Right.
You know, that's the kind of community I want, is people that do good things for people and stay out of trouble. And I'd hope we can all ask the same of all of our little groups.
Yeah. One thing I do want to do is put myself out there more, but I'm a very anxious person. I'm just low key, just a little ball of anxiety 24/7. So I stick to the friends that I do have, and the people in Choco server I would consider my friends, and I do want to put my streams out there more for people to see and just, I guess, quote unquote, interview people. But I I don't want to take people from other people's community, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, it's, even if you take people from like an adjacent community, it's like you don't. I accidentally took Chaco's mod, um, but I don't want to think of things in terms of like taking like people. It's kind of just like a, people decide who they want to watch. They gravitate towards who they feel comfortable with, who they feel like excited for. Um some people are, you know, drawn to confidence, some people are drawn to coziness. And so, you know, maybe like, you know, put yourself out there a bit more and get that gravitational movement, just to see like who you can attract to your streams.
Mhm.
And then like, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I also don't want to feel like, oh, this person is usually in this channel but now they're in my channel all the time, so no, I can assume they're not watching them. But it's just like, that just, it just happens.
I I I want to be. Let me put a pin in that. Uh, are you a variety streamer?
Not right now, but I'd like to be. I just game right now.
Mm.
I don't have like a webcam to do like any like hand cam streams or any like anything special right now. But like in the future, I'd like to do things like, you know, build and paint Warhammer models and maybe not like not involving the hand cam, but like I'd like to do things like write some homebrew on stream, like just do like a writer's lab on like, hey guys, so D&D just came out with a new edition. You know, they're doing the 5.5.
Mm-hmm.
This is how you build a subclass for fighter, and you know, go through all the little like nitpicks and stuff, and go like, you know, here's how you balance. Here's how you. This is how you don't double dip in certain things when you're building your homebrew. Um, and yeah, it's just art would be great, but I'm still kind of iffy on digital art. So maybe like a hand cam. Drawing with Jazza has been a big influence on my art. So if I were to do a hand cam, I'd do it like that style of just like camera, paper, pencil, Copics. Um, so yeah, I'd like to be a variety streamer. I just right now, given my full-time job plus streaming, it currently feels like too much work. It might not be, but it feels like it is really the issue for me.
Mm-hmm. Uh, what I was about to say before I asked this question was I want to be a variety streamer, but I don't know if you've seen. My computer tends to shit itself every single time I try to play a game.
Oh no.
It it lags stream really bad. Like stream will be so behind, and I still don't know how to fix it because I'm not a computer person.
Are you using a hard internet line or are you using Wi-Fi?
I was using Wi-Fi at first, and then I used the LAN cord.
Okay. You're plugged right into your router?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it could just be something to do with your I don't know too much about computers myself. But for me personally, depends on the game, but it's either my graphics card or my processor doesn't allow too much.
Mm,
Um so those could be problem areas.
probably.
And that's about the most that I know about my current issue, and it might be
Yeah.
yours. How old is your PC?
Oh, fuck, can't speak. That's what I can't do. I got it for. I don't really have. It's a gaming computer. I don't really have a PC yet, but I got it
Okay.
for Christmas 2 years ago.
2 years. Wow.
No, I think it was a year to 2 years ago. So it's not really old. It's a new-ish computer.
You might also want to see about taking into a repair shop and just seeing if they can scan it for any viruses.
Hmm.
Um, I just know from personal experience that just especially if you have you used Chrome in like the last year.
No.
Oh, okay. Because I know for certain Chrome has an extension virus that went around, and so I stopped using Chrome in favor of Opera. Um,
I've used Opera since I had this computer.
oh, okay. In that case, you just might want to go and just get it like a quick like maintenance, like just look at like any files that might be corrupted, um, because that might be causing an issue for you.
Hmm. Hmm. I don't know if I have any more questions. I I really don't know.
Beebs from my server just texted me or just messaged me on Discord. Um,
Oh, I have a question.
um, just texted me like, "Why aren't you streaming?" It's just like, well, I'm actually doing an interview on someone else's stream. That's on my schedule. And I posted the link on my Twitter, and it's just like, "Hey, I'm here. If anyone wants to see me.
But hi, Riley.
Hi, Riley.
I remember a question now. What's is there any backstory behind your username, Twitch name, or
So somewhat cursed. If anyone ever finds me, I will probably shit myself. LeviathanNightDragon was the it was a cool name that I came up with in middle school, and I had used it for my first DeviantArt account. And what I used DeviantArt for was and don't do this if you're in middle school. This is very dangerous behavior. I know from experience. I use my DeviantArt account for spicy roleplay. Don't do that. It is a recipe for disaster. And so from there, uh, I I kind of dropped out of most of. I wouldn't say I was like problematic, but I ended up getting into trouble with some mods once. Because as a middle schooler, I didn't quite understand how to conduct myself appropriately with people. So I just stopped doing that for a while, and then God, it would have been in like the heyday of Homestuck.
oh,
They had the MXRP or they had MSPARP. And so I was in high school doing saucy roleplay. Still dangerous. Still bad. Don't do that. But I had on the site there was a chat for a game that I played, and I'm not gonna say the game here. But for the chat, I mean, my name on the site was LeviathanNightDragon. I had LeviathanNightDragon at gmail.com. LeviathanNightDragon, my YouTube account. So I made the character Leviathan, and he's just a powerful dragon, who can kind of shapeshift. And so that's kind of the whole idea is, and as I grew up, finally I was 18 doing spicy roleplay, less dangerous. Uh,
that's a lot less
um,
dangerous.
very, very much less dangerous. You meet a lot of less weird people when you're an adult doing spicy roleplay. But like as I grew up and I started to figure myself out, Leviathan just became like a demon overlord general guy, who could shapeshift to properly express this human concept of gender, that I was discovering. Um, so yeah, it was just I had Leviathan, I had my gender fluidness and my pansexuality, and I was like, what if I used the Demon Lord of Envy to express the opposite? And it was like, what if Leviathan spread kindness? What if he like, oh, and also Envy from fucking Full Metal Alchemist is in there, the shapeshifting bit. He just works his way in.
Yeah.
But it's really just like what if I just took all these concepts and I was just Demon Lord of the Deep comes to Earth, and wow, you guys are a lot more complicated than I thought. Maybe I don't have to maybe I don't have to conquer this world as much as just like give you guys a hug or something.
What's going on here?
You guys are having a fucking day today, huh?
In our defense, that's every day.
Oh yeah, sometimes. My human disguise that I go to work in, it's very fragile. And sometimes he's working out in the heat, and suddenly all the water tries to leave his body at once, and then he's just like wet all the time. It's awful. You people are like weird and gross, but like in a funny way.
I
Uh,
mean, I don't really have any backstory behind anything. I just made my Twitch account, and I find it a little funny because a streamer either completely butchers my Twitch name or get it all right.
yeah, I think that second B and baby tripped me up because I accidentally wrote a capital B when I was writing my schedule this week. But I mean, I just is Neo fine? Like just saying Neo.
Yeah, Neo's fine.
Okay, yeah, I go by Levi. A lot of people go like they've said my full name. It's just like, hey, Levi is fine.
Because
Uh,
it sounds like you're in trouble when you say Leviathan. It's just like, what did I do?
oh my god, the issue the other day. Again, I don't want to put this guy on blast, but he said, bro, your name is LeviathanNightDragon. I said, don't say my name like that. You're not my dad. It's like, who the fuck? Don't use my full name like that. That's for me and my father when he's angry.
I thought about changing my username, but I'm like, I'm just gonna keep it because then the streamers that I already frequent in their chats, they're gonna be like, who the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta ask, what's the inspiration for your like talk to PNG?
So I
Wait.
outside,
Before
huh?
you answer, can I pull out one thing?
Yeah,
You got me on the Homestuck lore. Are the ghosts the red ghosts based on Aradia?
a little bit.
A little bit. Okay. Your Sleepy Witch has like little like finger things that are based on Jade Harley. Anyway, go ahead. I was just
It's okay. Uh, so the whole thing behind my PNG is outside behind this PNG, me, real life. I I'm a goth person, specifically vampire goth. Hence why my PNG is a whole vampire. I have a I actually have a bat PNG if it shows, and it should. Give me like 2 seconds. I have this whole bat PNG,
oh cute.
and I and it's something I want to use at some point later on as a redeem to switch between the two. Because
Mm.
vampires turn into bats.
Yeah.
I do want to pay somebody to make a whole model for myself and for the bat PNG. No, I
Hmm.
don't know, but
Would you ever lean into like more like obscure vampire lore, or would you like to keep it more like new age and gothy?
probably a mix of both, but more
Okay.
like vampire lore than gothy.
I'm gonna like because I would honestly say I don't see a lot of people lean too far into like the older stuff. Like you take inspiration from things like it's gonna sound weird when I say it, but Nosferatu, he's got like the elongated fingers.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
got like the goblin like the gobbo ears.
yeah,
It's like I think those would be interesting details. Um or like not maybe not hairy palms, but like maybe like a an interesting like palm texture.
yeah. It's definitely gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Um, I haven't thought too much on the lore, but a thing that has stuck with me since I was a kid, I've been obsessed with any kind of monster slash occult type of thing, like aliens, vampires, werewolves,
Hmm.
sea monsters, witches. I've been obsessed since I was little.
Yeah, I mean, the just me like Leviathan came from the fact that I grew up in a very like Baptist house, and when I came across like awesome biblical lore, I was like, this guy sounds awesome, or this thing sounds awesome.
Yeah. My family is Catholic, kind of, I guess, is the older people in my family.
Hmm.
And I'm just like, I don't know what to believe at this point. I'm
Well,
just
there's
trying to live.
so like
Not to get
something my
religious on anybody, but
no, and I just want to say like as part of my mission to help like spread kindness and stuff, it's like I don't really talk about like religion outside of like my own personal experience with it on my channel,
Mhm.
but it's just like for anyone that's curious about things, wise words from my father. You have enough time. You do. You have enough time. You know, we're living in an age where we have all the world's information at our fingertips, but you have enough time to sift through it all. Like just the fact that like in the last couple years I've come across so much art and so much like historical lore and information on different things I had no idea about. Again, only a couple years, and it's like I've learned a lot. I've grown as a creature.
he's a creature.
As a creature. Um, creature is a very gender neutral term, so it's actually why I refer to myself as a creature of the deep. Um, and my followers are soldiers because soldier is also a gender neutral term. Funny enough.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, you have enough time. It's a lot of us like I said, even though I feel like I feel at times that I'm too old to start streaming and making it. I have enough time. I like it's shit happens gradually and then suddenly, and it's like if something happens, it happens. If not, well, I got a little bit of spending money sometimes. My roommate subscribed with Prime the other day, and I was like, thanks for the free money. Uh, but yeah, you have enough time to learn, figure out your position on things, and it's just I say give anything a shot if you feel like you would like it.
Yeah. And for right now, I'm just like, I'm just trying to live. I don't I'm just trying to
Panda is
get through
so
the day.
hungry.
She's gonna have to be hungry right now. It's fine.
Panda is so hungry. What the heck?
It's gonna be fine.
Your Panda's a ghost, right? What is
Yeah,
this?
it's a ghost.
Why'd you make a ghost that can feel hungry? That's like top tier villain shit. Guys, I created a being that can't eat. What does it do? Feels hungry. Poor Pando. I wish I could like comment and give Pando a sandwich.
I think there are. I don't. There are some things for it that I don't remember at this moment right now. But
I don't know. Could I do something like exclamation point food for Pando?
I have to look, cause
No, I just said welcome because I fucking commented. Finally. No! Justice for Pando.
it'll be fine. Another thing that I do want to branch out in. I mean, not branch out in. I went from going by he they to they them to being gender fluid, and I'm like, I prefer they them, but I don't have a problem when people call me she.
I mean, it kind of just comes down to like, if gender's a social construct, then I'm perfectly happy with society pulling someone in a direction that makes them feel more comfortable than me feel less comfortable. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so yeah, I mean, of course, like if I do my makeup and I go out wearing nice, feminine clothing, I'm not gonna like, I'm kind of outside my own head about like if someone goes up to me and says like, "Excuse me, sir," or hey man," it's just like I don't really mind it. It's to me, it's like I'm not doing this for them. I'm doing this for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I can definitely feel for the people that are on the other side of that, where it's just like I feel
They feel
inside.
disrespected.
I feel inside my own head about it. I mean, definitely, like, especially if you're like around friends and your friends constantly like, trip up. It's like, hey, get with the program.
Right.
I can understand that.
You've been my friend for
Um,
how long? Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, there's also like, depending on how long you were friends, they can, I guess, fall back into that habit. But that's one of those times where it's like you don't want to blow up. You want to respectfully reset your boundaries of like, maybe if they do it too much, you sit down with them and it's like, hey, I noticed that you called me she a lot earlier, um but I feel like you know that I prefer they, um and I just wanted to bring you to your attention that made me feel a little maybe anxious or like on edge, because I feel like if we're talking with people that don't know me too well, now it's stuck in their head that I go by this pronoun.
mm-hmm.
um and so now every time I can understand, like, you have those, like, I don't want to say fair weather friends, but you have those friends that are like they come in and they go and they leave every so often.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not like around them to like be like, your friends will see like a gradual change, but then these friends, it'll be like suddenly gender means nothing. uh and so it's like to me it's a whole thing, sometimes with that. I'm not sure, I think so again, like, my whole thing is like I don't want other people to feel uh like pressured or anything. So it's like in the case of like, my high school reunions in a couple years, it's like I'm probably just going to show up as myself and be like, just re-ingratiate the people, just like, hey, remember me? I was this and that. Um, I might put on like some makeup just to like look nice, but like probably not go all out, just for the level of familiarity that I know it would bring some people of, oh, this guy isn't dead. Uh, but but like I said, I can also understand the people that are like, I kind of started transitioning in high school, and if I showed up to my high school reunion fully transitioned, I'm pretty sure everyone would be like, "Oh, hey, glad to see you're still around."
Mm-hmm.
I can get that. I just don't personally think that that's the right move for me.
Do you have any advice for anybody who wants to be a content creator of some kind?
Ooh, do it. Um, number one, I guess I'll do like a short list. Number one, do it. If you have a talent, like, do it. If you're really good at playing the piano, record yourself playing the piano. If you're really good at art, draw every day. If you want to get into doing things like live plays for D&D, get your friends, get a camera, maybe not the best audio equipment, probably like the second best if you can afford that. Do it. If you have any reservations about putting your face out there, just spend the $50 to $100 depending. I have an inside source that says there's a lot of people that live in areas like Russia and Ukraine who will do very cheap art for PNGs. They would do pretty decent art for like stream overlays if you're into that. But if you're not into showing your face, definitely spend a little bit of the money to get a good avatar that represents you. Because you don't want to get one of those free programs with all like the pre-programmed assets that everyone can recognize as like, oh, that's that cheap 3D model maker. Or also like if you're into 3D modeling, take the time to build a 3D model and figure out how to rig it if you don't want to pay for a rigger. Number two,
oh, sorry, no, continue.
I was gonna say number two, don't feel bad about looking like a jackass. Again, like I have trouble speaking to a crowd, but when I do, sometimes I can just be in the middle of a conversation and something happens in the game and suddenly I scream, like an imbecile. I make choking and gagging death sounds when I die in video games. Sometimes I rage a little bit and I kind of feel like an asshole, but like it's a video game and I don't take it beyond the scope of the screen. Be friendly, be courteous and kind to other people. If you're getting into streaming, raid people. Get your name out there. It's a very positive way to show people, hey, I'm doing this thing, and if anyone's interested, I do this thing all the time. Yeah, just do it, perform, and make friends. Oh, number 4, learn all your programs. I had an incident this Saturday where someone used one of my redeems and I couldn't figure out how to actually like do a fun thing for it, and I fucked up my OBS and I had to restart my stream. Learn all your programs. Update all your games as well and make sure you have enough space to play them, because I got to deal with something similar to that later. But if you don't have enough space to download a game, make the space or figure out a different game to play.
And what I was gonna say earlier, it was something, I think it was Chibidoki who got her model done. And I don't know if it was rigged or not, for like only $100 or $200, and I think people were mad at her about that.
Yeah, I'm very blessed, and when I finally want to do a 3D model, I actually have a friend who I know IRL that does that. And it's gonna be a pretty penny, but it's gonna be, the money is going to a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And they aren't only just going to be doing the modeling, they will do the rigging for free. So, make friends with your modeler, make friends with a rigger. Yeah, and like I said earlier, if you have a hard time talking, rambling, just saying fun stories or like bringing up fun topics, write a list of talking points. It will save you for when you get dead air. Now, technically speaking, with video games, there's no such thing as dead air because something is happening.
Something's always happening when you're playing a game.
What's that?
I said something's always happening when you're playing a game.
Right, but sometimes people pop into a game, and even though it's like a game where something exciting is happening, if the streamer isn't speaking, they can fall off and be like, "Oh, it's not really fun." I could just watch if I'm playing Elden Ring and I'm completely silent. Now, to be fair, there's sometimes where I lock in. I gotta be quiet because my brain, I need to do this thing, and what's happening on screen is definitely way more exciting than any talking I could do. But if I'm not doing anything exciting in the game and I'm not talking, someone could come in, watch for about 20 seconds, and go, this guy hasn't spoken for 20 seconds. Why don't I go to a different streamer that's doing the same game and is talking constantly?
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely like, I'm never gonna get over like I need to talk all the time. I need to figure it out. Or at least like in a manner of speaking, I need to like keep things moving. Um like in Overwatch and Fortnite, I think is where I hit my stride when it comes to talking. I think my words per minute go up exponentially when I'm playing Overwatch and Fortnite, because in Fortnite, I'm talking to chat about what I'm planning to do if I'm playing solo, or I'm talking to the other players about what's happening when I'm playing in a group or like duos, trios, whatever. In Overwatch, it's very much like I'm talking about what's happening in the game. I'm figuring out like, okay, so I might switch to this guy because they have an ability that counters this guy. And let's go over my death footage and talk about, oh, they were there. It's a little easier for me to do that when Overwatch is such a fast-paced sort of game. And like any game where I'm talking to someone, it's very much like I can naturally talk to anyone for length or like at length.
Mm-hmm.
Just as long as I don't have questions like, how's your mom, or like, how was your day? What's the weather like? I mean, I can talk about the weather for like the remaining 30 minutes of like what I planned this to be. But like, yeah, because the weather here is awful, and I could just rip it a new one. The aforementioned sweating all my, sweating all my fluids out constantly at work.
Whoa. What what I do plan on doing is I do want to be a variety streamer at some point, but when I get a capture card and I can actually connect that capture card to my PS4 and connect that to my computer, and it actually work while I play like rhythm games. Rhythm games take up a lot of my attention because I have to pay attention. So
Right.
so it's not the best game for streaming, but it's what I want to do when I stream because I know it's gonna get at least a good hour
Well,
out
see,
of
so
me.
rhythm. So, sorry.
It's okay.
Um, so rhythm games, I think, are a, um, what's it called? Oh, I just had it in my brain. The phrase. Um, it's definitely an exception to like the norm of streamers should be like talking to their chat.
Mhm.
Um, like if you can actually like perform that well, where you're like, like 50 steps into a rhythm game's like whatever song you're in, and you're going, oh my god, chat, can you believe it? I made it this far and I haven't messed up once. And just like you're still like doing it like I can't play rhythm games that well, but like I've seen some people that go like that crazy length. It's like if you could still like maintain that talking, it's weird, but I think the exception is you don't have to.
Mhm.
It's like there is that extra mile, but I think generally chat is going to be more focused on, oh, the music,
Right.
the sound, the skill level that you're playing at. Like
Sorry.
no, I was just gonna say it's like when people are doing like the speed runs. It's like some people don't talk during a speed run, but also sometimes because that's like the speed run takes like 5 minutes. It's like they won't talk for 5 minutes. They'll do the speed run and then they go, all right, let me try to do it again, but let me try to get like 4 minutes 50 seconds.
Right.
It's like the amount of skill and concentration is what people are like coming for. And also I guess like the reaction, like when you're dealing with a VTuber or a PNG tuber, the downside of that is that you don't get like every facial expression. But like if you're looking at a streamer like Nags or Germa or God, what's his name? Not Tyler the Creator. The I forgot his name, but the dude who's like super famous for like screaming really loudly and having the crazy facial expressions. It's like you get a face cam on a person at like that 100% locked in level. That's the content. like the excitement there. Now if you're playing like a little snooze of a game, you know, you want to be talking to chat, you want to make sure that people are, you know, staying like sticking around to like, you know, learn who you are and get to know you a bit better.
Like,
But like
hello? Oh, hi, Zaku.
hey Zaku.
But like Minecraft, it takes concentration, but at the same time, you can stop and talk whenever. But when you're in a rhythm game, you can't stop and talk until you get a really, really good place to pause the game and look at chat.
Yeah. It's like that's what I'm saying. It's like if you're playing a game like God, what was it called? Like the Impossible game or whatever? That's Rage Quit. Michael did it like he did like 1 through 4. It's just like if someone streamed that game, I wouldn't expect a word out of them until they died. And then it would only be their reaction, checking chat, seeing going like up like 50 lines and going, all right, whoever said I'm dog shit, I'm gonna die in the next 5 seconds, go fuck yourself. It's just like it's like that's what the people came for. You know, like rage games like that. It's like that's it. Rhythm games, I think that's it. It's like whoever said I'm gonna choke on this like quadruple like I don't know fucking like scoop like motion.
Right.
Go get the fuck out of here.
And
It's like go away.
and another thing that I
Uh,
would want to do is also have a hand cam with the controller that I use when I
do you have
play.
like a do you have like one of those the weird like motion boxes or like
Mm, mm-mm.
sorry
I've
that came
never
out
bought
weird.
one.
I was mostly wondering like what kind of controller do you have, or is it like a pretty standard one?
This is a standard one. I did put a few on. I did put one on my throne, but that's for Nintendo, and I
Oh,
don't
okay.
expect people to actually. I don't expect anybody to buy me anything. So
Yeah, that's kind of my thing right now. Is like I have a max 3 like uh average viewers right now. I don't want to like and I have plenty of stuff right now. I don't need like to set up my throne um just yet.
I have
Also cuz like
I have
I,
one just to have one
mhm.
because
I think that's fine.
yeah, and I have one just to have one just because I know that I have friends who do occasionally watch me and they're gonna be like, I want to buy you something.
Yeah,
So really, I don't expect anybody to buy me anything at any point.
right. Um Something that just came across my mind that that kind of ties into like the earlier like my short little list of things you want to do if you want to get into content creation. So a little subsect of like make friends and like reach out, use social media. So I am really bad about using Twitter, and I went on about this on my stream the other day, or I went on about it off stream yesterday. But I'm going to reiterate just in case. I'm really bad about deciding when to tweet something that just came into my brain because I like to think I'm funny sometimes, but then I'll read over something and I'll go, maybe that's not too funny, or like maybe that's not too like relatable. Like earlier today, like there was a moment at work where I was laying down in a house, and they had like paper on the floor. And when I got up, there was like the imprint of my body. And it looked kind of wonky. And in my brain, I was like, it'd be really funny to just post that, like Leviathan melted, or I literally melted into the floor or some shit like that. And I thought that's kind of gross. Kind of gross. I think people think it's gross that I just let the big sweat stain on the ground. But just like it's that's one of the things is like I'm self conscious about my perspiration, and so it's like I didn't post anything like that. But I honestly think I could have. I think I could have done that. Just like or like something along the lines of like post a picture and then like say like how many millionaires do you think I could make jealous by saying I've had a wetter time in their house? Like something like that, or like I've gotten sweatier in your homes. Me at about 1,000 millionaires in my state. Uh, um, but yeah, like tying into that, it's just like if you have someone that you follow, like I do have like I guess an issue of like I very much again feel unprompted with my humor, but if I see something someone I follow post, I think about it and I go, I could respond to this in a funny way. But I try not to be like a reply guy because some people just are that, where it's like all they do on social media is reply. But in my brain, I'm like, I'm not trying to be a reply guy. I'm trying to start the reputation, that rapport of like I can be funny, or I can be supportive of SWs, or I can be like friendly or like compassionate. Like I've commented when people like are posting things like I'm really sad about this thing, and like that really sucks what you're going through. And I like to like just reach out and say like, if at any point I can help, like I said, if someone I follow asked me for help with something, I would try my damnedest to make it happen. And that's kind of just part of the reach out, use your social media. I just had a notification pop up. Make friends. I made friends with Chocolate. I made friends with Zaku. And now, like, on a random day, I don't think any of us were streaming. Oh, no, I think Choco was streaming yesterday. But I just called him up. I was like, hey, you guys want to play Fortnite? I'm not doing D&D tonight, and I don't want to stream. We're just playing Fortnite. So it's just like, gather the troops. Have some good old fun. I think that's it. I want to be a community that just plays games together sometimes. Like I want to be able to like, I'm not streaming. I'm not playing D&D. I go on my Discord and I go, ping Overwatch crowd. Who wants to play Overwatch? We'll do like a revolving cycle. It just like, I mean, if the case is like, if in my Discord it's like most of people want to play with me, it's like, okay, I want you all to be friends with each other, so maybe I'll sit out one game. We'll see how you guys get along without me. And then like, stuff like that. I think that would be really fun of just like we can do like Jackbox, we can do Fortnite, we could do Fall Guys. I know Fall Guys has like a big lobby limit of 40 people. If I had 40 people in my Discord, I would be over the fucking hill. If I could do a Fall Guys lobby from just my Discord.
That reminds me, like when you said that you made friends with Chaco and Zaku, where my first stream that I watched of Chaco, he was surprised that I was lurking. And he asked me what games that I play, and I told him that I play Brawlhalla a, a lot of the time. If I'm not playing a rhythm game, I played Brawlhalla with him off stream and on stream, which was a spontaneous Brawlhalla thing because Kingdom Hearts crashed. And then he did a stream. I think I don't know because I think I was asleep, but he had it scheduled in, so I think he did a stream later that week of again Brawlhalla.
Right.
But that's one of the games that I do play with my friends because I don't play Fortnite and I don't play Overwatch like that. But I do play a lot of My Hero One's Justice and the Demon Slayer game, which I'm kind
Mm.
of relearning because I stopped playing both of those games for like a good year. So I had to relearn both of them.
That's a Hinokami Kagura Chronicles, right? Or
Hmm.
the Hinokami Chronicle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw some clips of that game, and if I could justify buying it, I would. But I'm saving a lot of my money for TwitchCon this year, uh, just so I have like the hotel and the flight fees, and I can also afford to eat while I'm in San Diego.
Right.
Um, so if I could justify buying a game, I would.
I
But
sorry.
yeah, it's just like but end of sentence, I guess.
Oh, I actually pre-ordered it, and me being a person who hates missing out on things that already came out, like if I know the game is coming out, like the second Luigi's Mansion game, I haven't bought it yet, but I plan on buying it because I love Luigi's Mansion. Luigi is my favorite Mario character,
Mhm.
but that's not what I was talking about. I think it was like $70 for the deluxe edition of the game, and that was digital. And I'm like, I want all of it. Give me all of it.
Damn, unfortunate.
And I did get it, and I have most of the DLCs. I just don't have a few characters, which I don't really care to get, and not at this moment anyway.
Yeah, if I had a capture card, I would hook my Xbox up so I could play. I have I think Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Generations. No,
Mhm.
not Generations. There's another new. There's a newer one that's not quite Boruto. Um, but I'd like to play that on stream because I want to show a little bit of my skill in like games like that. Because I think before I stopped playing my Xbox, I started getting like S rank in like all of the story like fights. I was like, I could do this.
That was how I was when I was constantly playing My Hero One's Justice. I was constantly getting like S ranks and A ranks, and then I would come back during the story and when I finished to see if I could get those A ranks to S rank. And then
Mm.
my entire PS4 died, so I had to go get it fixed, and then it restarted my entire all of my progress on everything, including my rhythm games, which is the only ones, which are the only ones that I have tried to get all of my stuff back, and then I left My Hero One's Justice alone, so then I had to relearn it.
Yeah. As far as like games where or it's as far as like times when a game came out or like even like a movie came out, I think in general I was very behind a lot of my peers. I don't want to get into too much details, but for a little bit of my life, my father didn't make that much money. Um, and he made it work. Um, like I mean, he got us the PlayStation 2 around the time it came out at least. Because he was able to like use. some like he was able to get like loans for like entertainment stuff, just to fill out our house because again, too much details, but it was just us and mom for a lot of it. Um, and so like I was still on PlayStation 2 when people were getting into Xbox 360 around my age. I missed out on Pokemon because I was a little too young when it got like really popular. Um, but I was just young enough to have friends whose rich parents had multiple like systems for them.
Mm-hmm.
So when I moved to my current residence, I made friends with a kid, and he had an extra Game Boy and a copy of Fire Red and a copy of Pokemon Sapphire. Uh, and that was I think once my parents learned that I loved Pokemon because I loved the games. I played the card game kind of beforehand, but I fell in love with the video games. That's when we started getting like updated systems, and my father got a different job, and he was able to like we got the Xbox 360, and when the Xbox One came out, we got the Xbox One. You know, my dad, he filled the Xbox like the our game rack with like the Kinect stuff. I like the Kinect Star Wars. That was fun. Um, but once we moved here, my dad got a better job, updated systems. Xbox One came out, fucking kept me up to date on like every like cool new game that I missed out on like the beginnings of, but I could now enjoy the currents of. So it was like my dad. We had like Call of Duty World at War for the PS2, but it wasn't really for me because I was more into like Kingdom Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but then when we got the Xbox 360, my dad got me Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and 3. Still like probably my favorite Call of Duty games to this day. Um, and when we got the Xbox One, we got the Xbox One with Halo 4, and I loved Halo 4. Um, because like I played Halo 3 with my friends when I was younger, but I never like was into Halo until Xbox 360. We got our own Xbox 360, and I played Halo Reach, and then the next game for me was Halo 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started playing like Halo 3 and looking into the Master Chief Collection, and I read the Halo books my dad had because my dad like was doing his old work back when the Halo books were produced back in 2000 when the first game came out. Uh, and so yeah, like I feel like that is reflected in my. I have a lack of FOMO when it comes to games now because I feel like I have enough games to work through that a new thing can come out and it's like I can get to it. Like I said, I have enough time. Like I used to feel like I don't have enough time to do anything, but I have enough time. And my only FOMO now comes in the form of, uh, well, for me, my crack in meth is Gamer Subs cups.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I see a Gamer Subs cup and I go, I'm gonna add that to my collection.
See,
It's like
I'm sorry to cut you off.
you're good. You're good. I the way I'm talking right now, it's like sometimes I start and I don't have a stop. So go ahead.
Me too, because I also don't have a stop button either. But I can agree with you on the Gamer Subs cups, but instead of Gamer Subs cups, mine is plushies of any kind, but
Mhm.
mainly Build-A-Bear. I don't care if I'm too old to walk in and Build-A-Bear. If I see one, I'm going and I'm getting a bear.
Yeah, just make sure not to name your bear something embarrassing because apparently the cashiers always look.
I don't name them anything embarrassing. I don't even think I named a lot of them. It's just with the
That was just from like a TikTok or something I saw
oh
where
yeah,
they
no,
named it
I
something real
saw the
bad.
TikTok. I know what you're talking about, and
uh,
it's surprisingly common how many people do that.
well, yeah, I think Yeah, Build-A-Bear is made for girls and boys under the age of 10. I'll add boys in there because it's proper.
Mhm.
And in a very supportive way, adults who need something to squeeze. That's end of sentence.
Yeah, no, I understand exactly what you were trying to say. But I, 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 it's a comfort thing to me, I guess. Whenever I just have any type of fleshy.
Right. I can understand that. Having comfort things like I think I still to this day like I prefer to wear like longer sleeve shirts and jackets because they make me feel a little less insecure. Um, just having something other than a t-shirt helps for me. But I don't. I like. I mean, I collect gamer subs and Warhammer and stuff, and those are my those are my inhibitions or addictions. I guess not quite an addiction. I can stop buying gamer subs cups anytime I want.
You say that, and then you're gonna go buy another one.
It's funny you say that. Buff Pup just had a gamer subs cup drop, and I'm still listen. But also, so the thing about that one is that I actually like Buff Pup a lot. Like she's actually pretty rad. And the fact that her gamer subs cup apparently glows in the dark, I'm not missing this opportunity. So, I'd also like to say, like, as far as like streaming goals, if I can get sponsored by gamer subs, I would be fucking. That would be like peak Levi. And I'm excited to get enough people where I can go to gamer subs and put in my application to be sponsored. Because that's gonna be awesome.
I also might turn my YouTube channel into where I just upload VODs of me interviewing people, or just of me having a podcast of people, I guess. I don't know who the other people on this podcast will be.
Mm-hmm.
Just I just hope that one day there's gonna be one to put out on YouTube or here on Twitch, because I like to just talk about nothing with other people.
Okay. I mean, definitely if you're thinking in the realm of like if you're thinking in the realm of doing these interviews, I mean, you've conducted yourself pretty well for it. I think it could be fine. Um I'd say probably if anything, the negative space behind us like put like a little like maybe like a couch thing or something.
Hmm.
Just, like just fill in the black. I mean, it could be the thing itself could be black. You gothic aesthetic, something.
It's gonna be
Uh,
a coffin.
a coffin. I can't go back to hell. Uh, um, but like, if you're thinking about doing a podcast, definitely like figure out like what is your podcast like about? Like, you gonna do like weekly news in like streaming slash VTubing? Are you gonna do like there's I hear there's a very very small market for up to date anime podcasts because a lot of them just end up talking about other things
I was
anyway.
just gonna
Um,
say I wanted to. My auntie's fiance actually told me I should do anime reviews or like gaming reviews.
yeah, I mean it's very much like I think the hardest thing about anime reviews is what's it called? The DMCA, like getting around like the copyright laws and stuff sometimes. Like that's why a lot of stuff that like did like Dragon Ball like stopped doing it like almost entirely, because the Toei is like really bad about like just bringing down the hammer on any creator that talks about Dragon Ball.
Mm.
Um but yeah, if you're gonna do a podcast, definitely like follow like, you know, get some talking points down, figure out who you want to be with, figure out like how well you can talk without talking like over each other or like, you know, anything like that. And like just watch a lot of podcasts, I guess, and just figure out like what kind of vibe you're going for. Like I watch Otaku's Anonymous and Trash Taste and Some Ordinary Podcast. Sometimes I'll watch um what's it called? Safety First
Mhm.
with William, what's his face?
So,
My brain blanked on his last name immediately. Um, he does it. It's like Nile Red and
oh, I love
William
Nile Red.
Osmond. William Osmond.
I watch a lot of Nile Red videos.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who else is on the podcast usually. I think Alan Pan is sometimes there. He does a lot of like the anime experiment stuff.
Mhm.
Uh, but yeah, so like it's definitely like try to. The Chuckle Sandwich. That's also like a good one to watch to like figure out things like vibe, I guess. Um, because they got a pretty good thing going on there. Especially with Ted and Schlatt being very differing personalities, but being in the same sort of wavelength of comedy.
I feel like a podcast would kind of be a better way to go because then it gives me anything to talk about that I like talking about, and I also don't really have to think too much about what I'm talking about.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can also go the route of having multiple channels. Technically speaking, multiple channels means multiple revenue. If you end up getting that sort of that like growth, and if you're doing a podcast again, you can do whatever you want. So if you want to do like, oh, this is like, maybe you don't do anime reviews every week or like every time you stream your podcast, but maybe like every season you go, here's the seasonal anime coming out, and here's what I think about them. That one, weird. That one, cool.
This one
You
I
know?
don't like, but let me tell you why.
Yeah, I've read the manga to this one. It's awful, but I hear the anime is going to be great.
I personally,
One Punch
I
Man, the web comic versus One Punch Man, the anime. Sorry.
it's okay. Personally, I am a huge JoJo's fan and One Piece fan, but I'm not one of those fans like, I love this anime, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. There's a lot wrong. There's a lot of like in part 3 of JoJo's, which I've talked about for I think 3 times at this point, but still I want to talk about it again. Um, part 3, it's mediocre. That's the one with Jotaro and Kekyoin and all of those ones. They
Right.
killed off every single character, even Iggy, the fucking dog, except for Joseph, Jotaro, and Polnareff. And I don't know why Polnareff specifically, but he was alive, I guess.
Right.
And then One Piece has a lot of flashbacks, which I don't mind sitting through, but I know a lot of people that have watched One Piece, they're like, I can't sit through all those flashbacks. And I'm like, I understand that, because that's how I was with a lot of Naruto's filler. It was a hard time sitting through Naruto's filler for me, so I eventually stopped. It is a good anime to me, but I just stopped watching because I couldn't sit through all the filler, I guess.
Right. No, I've been trying to get into One Piece, but again, I feel like because of my full time job and my streaming, I'm keeping up with the anime that are coming out currently, and
Mhm.
going back to watching One Piece feels like a lot of backwards momentum. Um, Now, luckily for me, there's going to be a new animation for One Piece in the coming years, so maybe that's where I hop on. I know a lot of people have been like really mad about it, being like, I sat through all the filler. Why can't you? It's just like I would like One Piece to be my favorite anime, and currently it's very long and it's a very big time investment.
That you just don't
Even
have at this moment.
yeah, but if we had the updated animation and like the shortening of storylines, if Wit Productions can actually make it happen, maybe at some point in the future when I have more time, I will watch the original. Like I think I spent an hour a couple weeks ago watching Akira because I had a free night and I was like, I want to watch anime, but nothing. There's no new episodes of anything I'm watching right now. And so I went to Crunchyroll and I went to the alphabetical tab and I was like, I have never watched Akira. So I watched it and I think it's fucking phenomenal. It's just like I do like that old style of animation. And I mean I grew up with stuff like the original Naruto and Bleach. And I technically grew up with One Piece, but I think I missed the boat on One Piece in a manner of speaking.
Yeah, I'm I I have a lot of animes that I watch, but that I love, but it's also just like I I'm not gonna, like, for lack of better words, dick ride these animes just because I like them.
Yeah. I mean I have problems with everything right now in My Hero. Um, I think I think despite the fact that Horikoshi unfortunately is suffering health issues and
Mhm.
therefore needs to wrap things up and also has to appeal to the Japanese crowd first. I think that really sucks because I think in America we care a lot about the depth of our villains because we don't get villains like My Hero villains
We
all
don't
the
really
time.
get in-depth villains at all.
Right. I mean, like I think it's when our in-depth villains we remove that depth. That's when we riot because that's when we get Jared Leto Joker.
Yeah.
Whereas the Joker, Heath Ledger Joker, was so deep. It like drew you in the way he acted. It drew you in the way Barbosa in Pirates of the Caribbean acts.
Hmm.
You want to learn more about this guy. And then, they remove some of his depth in the later installations, but for the first the first four, I really felt that like pull towards the man. Um,
And
so it's
I'm
very
sorry.
much like deep villains are good, and Horikoshi is great for what he did, but unfortunately has to cut it short. Sorry.
It's okay. Um, I was just gonna say, like, they the characters that they use for villains aren't that deep anymore, and it's just like, I'm here to be evil and we need a villain.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
Like I watched Madam Web and I I liked it. The beginning started off okay. I'm like, okay, this is a movie I can get behind. And then it fell, and then it fell harder, and then it just went into the ground by the end.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't know, and it's not a terrible movie, but it wasn't great. And I'm like, Marvel, do better. Because there was so much that could have happened that didn't.
Right. Yeah. Yep. I'm being I'm being pinged by my friend. He's asking me if I'm streaming tonight. I guess we're running a little over time.
Yeah, sorry. But it
Because he
was.
can't read a schedule. I usually take 15-minute breaks in between sections anyway. Uh but yeah, I mean we can talk more another time. We can get more into like whatever you want.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, I feel a little bad because
No, it's
I
okay
don't want to
because
jump out on you.
no, it's fine because I only planned on streaming for an hour and it's been two. So,
Yeah, I mean that's that. I mean 2 hours. I mean more people to stop by, see what's going on. Maybe they dip, but that's more people to see like what you are doing and stuff.
yeah.
Um, I mean, honestly, it's been great. You can, I mean, the interview went well, I think, and if anyone who watches this has any questions, they can definitely come ask me on my Twitter and uh, come pop in my chat if they want to talk
Yep.
while I stream.
I do have a Discord and I also have a Twitter. So let me just put that out there. And thank you for joining me today.
Yeah. Do you mind if I link my Twitter, perhaps?
I don't mind at all.
Okay. I thought I'd ask.
I don't mind.
All right. So if anyone wants to make a friend,
Oh,
I'm timed out. No,
sorry.
no, it's fine. It's all
There you
right.
go.
All right, let me try again.
Wait. I
Oh,
think there's a
it's
thing that I
identical.
have that it doesn't allow links. Yeah, it doesn't allow links in my chat. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's fine.
But
All right. Well, if you go to Neo's Twitter, they're following me, so you can look me up there if you want.
yes, we follow you.
Unfortunately. All right, and I am going to go live playing Overwatch for a little bit.
Yes.
All right, so let me get that set up, and have a good night, Neo.
You too.